Well, thank you, Senator Murkowski. Senator Boxer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to the entire panel. In this committee, it's our job to talk about sound science. It is not in our committee rules to discuss novels or plays or TV shows or movies, although as a senator from California, I appreciate my chairman's focus on the arts because it is very important to me. I think we all agree that higher ocean temperatures result in stronger storms.
You see, these are major storms, Category 3, 4, 5 hurricanes with maximum sustained winds of 115 miles an hour or greater. And you can see that in the last 12 years, not counting this year, we've had about 3 times as many as we had in the previous 12 years. Boy, is this data for your grist mill to go in and say, look, my God, they're going up, greenhouse gases is going up, you can tie the two. And of course, we've had 5 very prominent meteorologists come out very strongly with it. Now, we see this change as quite different. It's due to the natural circulation of the Atlantic basin. Also, some colleagues of mine have gone and done global storms around the globe, and we find no credible difference for any pickup in the last 20, 30, 40 years, or no matter how you play it. The majority of people that have studied hurricanes, I've been doing it 50 years, and there's no way I can see any of this. So I want to show you the opposite point of view. Now look, in this 25-year period here, we had this number of major storms. Notice in this 25-year period, we had about a third as many as we had in this earlier period. So you see, you can take the data and maneuver it and come out with any damn thing you want, you see. And of course, if funding is going a certain way, people understand that, and they're going to go where they're going to be able to extend their grant or get a new one. In this 41-year period, we had 39 major landfalling storms. In the last 41 years, we've had 22. The curve is going down, but CO2 amounts are going up. So if we can keep CO2 going up, there won't be any hurricanes in 2050. So there's a lot of good stuff to this. So bring on the CO2. You see the CO2 people are saying CO2 is rising. They're tying that to the very active 04 and 05 seasons, of which that's the way nature works. We've had a lot of storms since 95. There was a sudden transfer. The North Atlantic got very warm from 95 on, and we started getting all these major storms. And we tied it to natural processes. The thermohaline circulation just started going faster. Of course, nobody measures that, but we have proxies in the North Atlantic temperature and the Atlantic pressure. The surface pressure over the Atlantic is lower during these periods. But the CO2 people say it's going to get worse and worse and worse as CO2 goes up. That is crazy. They should know better than that, but you understand it because there's money out there. Now, what I want to do is really talk more about the causes of global temperature change. You know, everyone thinks it's only CO2 does it. That's the prevailing bet. I think, yes, CO2 may warm the globe a little bit, but not much. We're not going to hurt the American economy and the Western world economy that's going up, and even the third world needs energy to burn to raise their standard of living. Climate change, in my view, is perhaps, I don't know for sure, but it looks to me like it is driven a lot by natural salt changes around the globe on a multi-decadal and multi-century time scale. And the energy amounts with this, if you just put in numbers, you get them equal or more than anything CO2 can be doing. So I want to show this curve. How many people have seen a CO curve like this? You always see it from the top up. You don't see it from zero. So if we go from 75 to 05, the CO2 amounts have gone up. This is equivalent if CO2 will warm the globe 4.2 watts per square meter or so. We've had about a 0.6 watts per square meter. Now, can that do everything that we've seen out there? I don't see how it can. Here we have, this is the solar energy coming in. This is a long wave going out, the albedo. These two equal that. Here's the sort of warming we've had the last 32 years or so, 0.6. In the last 150 years, we're about a third of the way to doubling. It's just too small. This has been greatly exaggerated. I think, yes, we have some warming, but not near what they say. It's a big red herring item. Now, the problem is the modelers. They're all very smart. They're talented. They're engineers building these models, and they all live in a virtual world. Here's a climate system, roughly like this. Now, you mean they can write code for all these processes. See, when you go beyond about 10 or 12 days, you get into the energy moisture change things, and it's complicated as hell. And nobody can write code and measure the data well enough in initial value sense to predict this hundreds of thousands of time steps into the future and get anything that's worth anything. I think what has happened, we have these modelers going around, having meetings, giving wonderful talks, reviewing each other's proposals and papers and so on. They're going around, and there's a barrier between what they're doing and what reality is out here. And we want to know reality, and we're not getting it from them. And yet we're spending so much money, and they're driving so much of the global warming theory. I mean, that's where a lot of it's coming from, these numerical models. We've surrendered our reason to have reality. Models must be proven with reality, and they're not proven. I think the whole global warming thing might be a great hoax. Thank you.